Take up your cross upon the Calvary road. With steadfast faith remain beneath the load. Consider all the suffering Jesus knew. Consider him, his grace will carry you. Embrace the cross and glory in its shame. With all your heart live worthy of his name. Oh, follow Christ regardless of the cost. Give everything to Jesus and his cross.
Let's reflect today, my dear friends, on the book of Acts chapter 8 verses 1 to 8 and Gospel of John chapter 6 verses 35 to 40. Tertullian, an early church father who died about the year 230 AD, declares that the blood of martyrs is a seed of Christianity. It was his poetic way of expressing that the church grows through suffering, especially the suffering of persecution. This faith was spread by devout men and women who endured much suffering, starting from Saint Stephen. Often, martyrdom was to manifest Christ's love. There is a mystery in God's plan which we can't pretend to comprehend. But for some reason, suffering plays an important part both in preaching the gospel and also in following the gospel. Jesus himself had to undergo crucifixion and death for our salvation. In fact, Eucharist is the fruit of his death on the cross. Every human life is coupled with suffering, whether it is physical, mental, or emotional. As people of faith, we are asked to see the loving hand of God in all forms of suffering. My dear friends, as we continue to celebrate the resurrection of Christ, we must remember that glory came from suffering, joy came from sorrow, and life came from death. We follow the footsteps of Jesus and in faith embrace cross of suffering to have the resurrection to glory.
Embrace the cross and glory in its shame. With all your heart live worthy of his name. Oh, follow Christ regardless of the cost. Give everything to Jesus and his cross. Proclaim the cross till every nation hears that for our sin the Son of God was pierced. In Jesus' name go forth in gospel might. In Jesus' love present Christ crucified.